everybody. How are you doing on this fine, cloudy, it was cloudy here. Overcast, drizzling afternoon. I am Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with my co-host partner in crime, Donovan throwing rocks and hiding his hands, Sadiq. We have, as we announced in the last show, changed the name of the show again, y'all.
Once again, because we got to keep it real.
I think we found the name we want to stick to, and it's called Don't Believe the Hype, in that we are asking you to, as Ronald Reagan, which is the only thing I like that he says, trust but verify. Don't believe what you hear. Go behind the curtain and see what's actually there. So we've changed it to Don't Believe the Hype. We'll give you the information, and then you go do further research and whatever else you need to do.
And let me make a disclaimer. If you hear a noise or a voice behind this curtain, it's her daughter.
She's a critique behind the curtain. Okay? So anyway, we'll get right into our topics because we got a jam-packed show. The first topic we want to talk about is white women now being brutalized by the police. Okay? And so I want to get into it. I took a lot of notes. I want to read them to you so I don't miss anything. All right, so a couple of days ago, a white woman from New Jersey was brutalized by the police at the beach. Emily Wyman was approached by the police because she had an open container and was underage drinking. In addition, she has been charged with aggravated assault on a police officer, aggravated assault by spitting bodily fluids on or at a police officer, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, obstruction, and minor possession of alcohol. All right? Now, in the video that we're going to show you in just a second, I want to preface it for you real quick. It shows an officer who is now on desk duty, or two officers rather, who are on desk duty, punching Wyman in the face and placing her in a chokehold. Police brutality for black people in America is nothing new, right? But now we're starting to see police officers attack their own being white people, specifically white women.
Thugs, our police thugs.
Right. Now, many who are normally not outraged by police brutalization of black folks are outraged by what has happened to a white woman. Okay, so, but this is not the first time that an organization that has been adverse to black people have turned on their own. So we'll go ahead and watch the video, and then we'll go into the other part of this. Okay, so as you saw there, she was being, some would say, brutalized and attacked by the police. And as I just read a second ago, they have a bunch of charges because they're saying that she hit them. You know, before the video came on, she kicked the officer in the face.
Let me cut you off real quick. Why is it that when a policeman is beating you in the head and you're defending yourself, they charge you with assaulting them?
And as you heard in the video, and it sounds like it was bystanders saying, stop resisting, stop resisting. Okay, well, if you punch me a couple times in my face and you got me in a chokehold, your
natural instinct is to preserve yourself. Yeah, but it's just funny how they've got the clubs and the guns and they're charging people with assaulting them.
I mean, it's just natural for you, like you said, to shield yourself. I'm probably not. Okay, your cat is about to go crazy.
Tylen's going crazy.
He's like, I'm going to knock over the whole operation here. Okay, but so anyway, so we saw the video. So, as I said, she's been charged with a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, wow, they've like emptied the whole basket of charges on her. You know, because I think that my suspicion that they did that is because, for one, she is a white woman. Sure. The video looks bad, and
they want to make sure she gets paid in the settlement for our tax dollars.
They want to make sure that she gets stuck with something, I think. Now, admittedly, as a lot of people say, especially when it comes to black people, we don't know what happened before.
Yeah, we don't know what happened in the video.
The video came on. But she was saying, you know, they just came up to me, and I was like, are you joking? And then the police officer got mad. I was like, well, now we're going to charge you. And then that's kind of where it got ugly. So I don't know if she was intoxicated. Well, she wasn't intoxicated because I guess that she passed the sobriety test. All right. So, as I said, this is not the first time that an organization that is very adverse and harmful to black people have turned on one of their own. Okay, back in 1925, D.C. Stevenson, the Grand Dragon of Indiana's KKK and a prominent Democratic political figure, kidnapped and raped a woman by the name of Madge Obenhauser. Something like that. He not only raped and kidnapped her, he mutilated her body by biting her all over until she bled. Bit her tongue, just the breath everywhere. Devil. But they said this was kind of like how he got down. He wasn't he was known to have raped women before. Okay, this is the Grand Dragon of the KKK in 1925. All right. Even after he did all of that to her, it was his goal to force her to marry him because he was smitten by her. He wanted her, and they went out to dinner a couple times. And then she reluctantly went over his house that one time. And so he was trying to force her to marry him. Now, he had one of his assistants carry her home. So once he realized, let me go back. He had to, the help of one of his flunkies to keep her captive. So some of the guys in the KKK were in on holding her hostage. Mm-hmm. After he did all that to her, she's suffering because she's bleeding. She's beat up, all raped, and all kinds of stuff. So once he realized she wasn't going to marry him, he had one of his assistants carry her home. But before she went home, he told her to say that she was involved in a car accident. That's how she ended up the way she was. And to forget about what really happened because he was the law and the power. Because, again, he was this... they even had said at this point during that time that he could have been the president of the United States. That's how prominent he was and influential in the hands of politics.
Yeah, well, in politics during that time as well, and in a lot of local governments, especially in the South, you had to be a member of the KKK or some kind of racist organization to even move up in the ranks.
Right, and to say the least, a lot of people were involved. And Indiana was like the hub of the KKK. Okay, so now she didn't listen to him, obviously. 29 days before she died of infection and poisoning, because while he had her captive, she says, look, I got a bad headache and I'm just in pain. Can you guys take me to the drugstore so I can get some medicine? So she tried to OD on the mercury, but it didn't work. She got very sick. So she ended up dying 29 days later of the infection and the poisoning from the mercury. Okay, and then so she told what happened to her. She testified about what really happened, and Stevenson was arrested and found guilty of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Now, before that, he was trying to talk to the judges and stuff, and I'll tell you guys why I'm giving you all this background. So he's trying to talk to the judges and all this other stuff, say, listen, there's a lot of y'all that's involved in the KKK, and if I get found guilty, I'm name dropping.
Right, yeah, he's going to dime everybody out. But they didn't
listen. They was like, okay, whatever, do what you got to do. Mm-hmm. And so, from that point, he began to drop names of very prominent people who were Klan members. One of the people was the governor of Indiana, along with a lot of other high-profile people. Mm-hmm. Now, the governor, along with other dignitaries, were charged with conspiracy. The Klan was never the same. In fact, after about 10 years, the Klan was almost non-existent. Mm-hmm. It went from this big organization to dang near just gone because of what he did. And then it says that 100,000 people declared D.C. Stevenson's inauguration of the Grand Dragon. They celebrated and cheered it, but they were only outraged once he had a white woman's blood on his hands. Okay, so what's the moral of the story here? It's all fun and games that black people are being mistreated until the mistreatment starts happening to a white woman. And so the question that I have, and maybe you can help me answer this, will this be the turning point for the police department, as it was for the KKK when their big time, Grand Dragon brutalized and ultimately murdered a white woman? Because like they said, it was all good and y'all doing at the black women. There's no secret that KKK raped and brutalized and murdered black women along with men as well, obviously. But once it turned on their own women, because in more detail of the story, they were like, wait a second. We supposed to be hating and doing bad things to people who ain't us. Yes. But now you off the chain now. You doing it to good white women. Mm-hmm. And so that is said to, have dilapidated the organization. So will this now be the turning point for the police department, for people? When I say people, I'm saying the Blue Lives Matter crowd, the apologists for police brutality. Will they now, because if you go into a lot of these comments on the social media stuff, the comment section, you see a lot of people justifying. Mm-hmm. Or a lot of people saying, oh, well, that's not right. That's not justified, but that's not right. Look what they did to her. And, that they're animals and all this other stuff. And so you have a lot of black people on there who are being facetious, I guess, if you will, saying, Well, we don't know what happened before the video came on. Oh, it looks like she was resisting arrest. Oh, she needs to listen next time because that's what they tell us. But it's like, not as a white woman. It's like, oh, those animals.
Yes. She needs justice.
Right. So will this be the turning point? Because now it's starting to bleed from this, from it just being black people or people of color to white women who are like the pillars of the world.
No. Well, I'm going to say I don't think it's going to turn personally. I think here's what's going to happen. Okay. The disappearance of the middle class. It all comes down to money. It's like when I was overseas. Everything comes down to money. Mm-hmm. If you ain't got it, it's us versus them. Right. It's as simple as that. They don't care if you're white, Asian, whatever you're doing. You ain't got no money. The have and the have-nots. So the police force is basically there to protect the elite.
Okay, so
and if you're not in that elite class, you don't matter.
Okay, but to this point, this is why I want to play devil's advocate a little bit. This white woman was on the beach. Sounds like maybe she was asleep or something, or didn't know what was going on. She was laying down or something. Her baby's daddy, because that's what she said, her baby's father, and the baby was in the water when this all happened. So I guess what I want to know is, how did the police know who she was? Did they know if she had money or if she was poor?
Okay. I'm going to break it down like this. The police force now has come under the scrutiny of this national thuggery thing. They are trained. Okay, if you're going to be a police officer, let's just break this down. And I don't know if people are going to agree with me or disagree with me, but let's break this down. If I have a calling to be a police officer, I'm going to be a police officer because I want to help people and I'm willing to put my life on the line to protect them.
Right.
But what is the first thing a police officer says when they're involved in a shooting or a discharge of their firearm? I was in fear of my life.
That's the go-to.
That's the go-to.
That's the go-to, right.
If you're in fear of your life, why are you a police officer?
Well, yeah, I mean, in this incident, because we're talking about this incident, how was you in fear of your life? Because ladies on the beach,
exactly,
bikini or something like it on. I mean, what could she really do to you? But
that is how they're being trained, and unfortunately, you've got police officers. To be a police officer in a lot of cities, all you need is a high school diploma. I'm not saying that you need a higher education, but you think that you would want that.
Well, yeah, but if you're a scaredy cat, I mean, being a police officer, you need to have some, bravery about you. You can't, I mean, because we've seen the video footage of, them saying, well, I was in fear of my life. I thought they had a gun. It was a cell phone, or it's like, you're lying. And you weren't in fear of your life.
Right. And ask yourself this, why are white people patrolling predominantly Black, Hispanic, Asian neighborhoods? Let Asians patrol their neighborhoods, and, and so on and so forth. Because a lot of that fear does happen. If I'm a white guy from Fullerton and you're putting me in South Central LA, from what I understand and what I grew up raising and seeing, I have a natural fear instilled in me against the people I'm supposed to protect.
And if it's not fear, it's, well, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to be boot stomping on the ground with these Negroes. Right. I'm going to show them who's boss and all that other attitude. And it's you ain't got to be doing all that.
And in our community, who is the worst police officer out of them all?
Right. Us.
The Black police officer.
Right. Well, we're going to show Massa, I got this.
Right.
Watch what I can do. I saw a video the other day. It's a couple years old, but I guess the guy finally was brought to charges. It's a Black officer. Homeless Black guy was in Atlanta somewhere. He was sitting on the bench waiting for us. I don't know, just sitting there.
Yeah, I think I read that.
And the guy comes up to him, the police officer. They have a few words, and then within a matter of seconds, the officer just starts wailing and beating him all about the body swinging like a wild animal, hitting this dude everywhere, broke his bones and stuff.
And you want to know why police officers do that? And this is what I do when I take my camera and I go out and I assert my rights.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to be police officers because that gives them the power. They think they have special privileges. A police officer doesn't have any special privileges than what we have.
Right.
But when you don't know the law, they think that they're the law. The police officer is not. The police officer enforces the law.
They're peacekeepers.
They are not there to interpret the law. That's what judges are for.
Well, now they are the law, the judge, and the jury.
They think
all
they are
on the scene.
Yeah. They think they are, and if you don't know,
and execution,
right, and if you don't know your rights, then that's what they take advantage of, because you'll find a lot of police officers don't even know the basic rights to arrest people.
Because you see people a lot saying, I don't have to give you that. Tell me why am I being detained?
Right.
Well, no, I'm free to go. No, you need to stay right here.
Right.
Okay, am I under arrest? Well, okay, then.
Right. California is not a stop and frisk state. If a police officer asks you for an ID, you ain't got to give him no ID.
But the cold part about that is because you're right. We don't have to give ID, but we've seen other sides of that. When you don't give the ID, then they grabbing on you and, then they trying to do other stuff to you. It's like, wait.
Well, they grab on you if you put them in a situation, No. I've seen it too. Yeah. But what I'm saying is in the confrontations I've gotten into with police, once I started showing them that I know, 808 and 8G7, and you're quoting this to them, they kind of back off, and I'm like, fuck you.
But that's true.
You.
But this is the thing, though. This is because I hear what you're saying. You should be knowledgeable, but I shouldn't have to recite the whole penal code to you, which you're supposed to know the law more than I know the law. I shouldn't have to recite all that to you for you not to put your hands on me, or at least tell me, am I under arrest, and for why? I should be able to. That's my right to ask you those things.
Right, but it's also your right to know your rights, and I'm gonna go. Right. I'm gonna go off what you just said. The minute that the officers, just because the officer asks you to stop doesn't mean you have to stop. You can continue on walking.
Okay, but then you do that, then you resist and
No, you're not. The first thing you ask is this a consensual contact? Because what he's asking for is consensual contact. When you're in public, you don't have to talk to anybody.
Okay, but how do you explain Philando Castile, the brother that was I can't remember. Walter,
Philando Castile
in North Carolina,
wait.
shot in the back.
Wait, one at a time. Philando Castile was the guy shot in the car.
Where does his fiance in the back?
Okay, unfortunately, you're in a car. When you're in a car, you have to comply.
He did.
No. I understand that, but what I'm saying is, he's in a situation where he has to comply with what the officer's requesting.
He did.
I know, and he still got shot.
He didn't even give him a chance. He did everything. Told
and I understand that, and that was total murder and so on. And there was a cop basically scared of the people.
Rice, the little 12-year-old. Right. That was murdered within 2 seconds of the cops pull up on him.
But what I'm talking about is everyday people walking out. If you see a cop in a park and you're in a park and he says, "Excuse me, can I talk to you?" No, and you just keep walking. Wait, let me finish. Excuse me, can I talk to you? No, and then you want to give him some respect. Yeah, what's the problem? Can I see your ID? No. Well, sir, is there a reason why I want to say, Mr. Officer, are you detaining me? Well, no, I'm not detaining you. Well, have a good day. And you keep walking. There's nothing he can do about that. Nothing whatsoever.
Okay, and I agree in Utopia.
Well,
in Utopia.
No.
Well, yes.
You can just walk.
No, you cannot.
Okay, go ahead.
You cannot, brother, because you're not going to get me to suspend what I've seen on copious amounts of videos of these people doing it, because I hear that a lot, and I'm not saying this to chastise you, because I hear people make that argument a lot. Well, if the brother would just do A, B, C, and D, and he knows, we've seen all of that take place, and we've still seen people lose their lives.
But here's what I'm saying. You're absolutely right. I'm absolutely right. What I'm saying is, it's just like a dog when he smells somebody has fear. They pounce on that. And that's what gets them to be exaggerated.
But as a black man in America, you are going to be in fear because you're watching your fellow brothers being mowed down and murdered wholesale for nothing by police officers. And let's not ever forget the origin of the police officers is that of the slave patrols and ultimately the KKK.
Right. Now,
wait a minute, finish. A lot of those officers, they come up on black people with the intent of doing bodily harm.
Exactly.
Regardless of what you're being arrested for.
You're absolutely right. Now, I'm a shit starter and I'm a troublemaker.
And I'd like to say, you guys, for watching this, you're probably hearing a little noise outside because there's some construction. So
no, that's the trash.
That's the trash man. Okay, he's going to be gone in just a second.
But here's the thing, and you're absolutely right. Like I said, there's every scenario we're both right in each scenario. It's how you handle the scenario. I'm a shit starter troublemaker. The point is, I think the reason why I'm so successful at what I do is because, number one, I don't fit the profile. I'm not dressed, thuggery. When a cop asks you, let's give you an example. No, let me just give you an example.
I'm listening.
When a cop asks you, let's say, are you on parole? You don't have to answer that, but some people willingly answer it.
But because the problem is this. It's because eventually they're going to get their answer one way or the other.
And what did I always say?
Because I understand what you're saying. We know the law. There's certain things you don't have to do by law. But a lot of these especially black men, they just want to go home.
Right.
They don't want, listen, I don't want no trouble. No, I'm not on parole. Here's this, that, the other. I just want to make it home. And not only just make it home, I want to leave here alive.
Right.
So I'm going to do what I can. But in a lot of those cases, that doesn't happen for those brothers. They end up on the wrong side of that anyway.
And I think that's because they don't understand what they're dealing with. No. And you got some police that are just assholes and want to do that.
And to me, that's the bottom line.
But you can't say all the police. But
not all the police, but the
most
ones that we've seen
most
where
of
the egregious
yes, I agree.
Reach of power has been a lot of these brothers. In most of the cases, have complied and overly complied. Yes, sir. This, that, the other.
But what I'm saying is, what's the one thing that I say, and I say it on every show when we're dealing with police and the police encounter, and you don't know what to do. Let's say you're scared of them and they're scared of you. What's the one thing you're supposed to do no matter what if you don't know what to do?
You tell me. What is that?
Keep your mouth closed and let them make the decisions.
Okay.
At that point.
All right. But again.
At that point.
What about the people that have done that?
Again,
the brother who was I can't remember his name, but he was working with students with special needs, and they come up on him. He's on the ground with his hands up, not saying a word, and they still shoot him.
Right.
So it's like, to me, I get it. We should comply, and we know all this laws.
No, you shouldn't comply if it's unlawful.
But I'm saying, if you do comply, you're gonna die.
Right. If you
do
comply.
know the law, you're gonna die. So it's like, we got to stop trying to put the onus on the victim, in that we know police officers, the very root of their organization was always to harm black people. That is what it's about.
Of course. But I'm going to say, in my experience, they pick up the fact that I know what I'm doing, and I make them look bad.
I think you've just been very fortunate because I know a lot of black men, my brother being one of them, who are always in a suit, very professional man, who's had a lot of negative interaction with. One time he called the police on somebody who was doing something to him, and he can hear the police officer saying, "Okay, but let me go talk to this nigger."
Right.
And he's like, "Huh? He talking to me?" And my brother's very on the bougie side of life, and he's appalled. Like, is he surely he's not talking about me?
Yeah. And have you noticed that when police get together, the first police officer that makes contact with you, that's the lead officer. And then let's say they know they fucked up. They'll get in a group to get their story together.
So they can F you up.
Or they'll say, okay, so they're all on the same page and go against you.
Right. So I mean, I get what you're saying. Yes, know the law. Yeah.
Have an idea of it. And if you don't, keep quiet. They're going to do what they're going to do anyway.
It just, I hate to say this because God forbid something happened to me. I'm going to try to call the police and hopefully work out in my favor. But the police officers are not the friends of black people.
No, they're not.
In general.
No, and I've never said that because every time I encounter a police, I say, "What's your badge number?" He'll ask you for ID. I'll say, "Let me see your ID." And he'll go like this. I said, "No, let me see your ID so I know where you live."
You have just been fortunate. I would say fortunate in that you do know the law, and fortunate that you haven't come across that one police officer like, "I ain't gonna show you nothing."
Oh, no, not true. I've taken a police officer's baton and beat him with it and stood there.
Okay, now you're lying. Okay, now, all right, now.
And didn't even run.
Okay.
That was in House Party.
And then you woke up, Tyler Perry.
Yeah, remember in House Party where a kid was in the jail? He goes, "You know what this man did?"
Okay. But so anyway, that was the question I have as far as that. Is that going to be the turning point when the police officers start beating up, especially white women? No. So you don't think it is? You just think it's an issue between have and have-nots?
No.
Okay,
exactly.
Well,
I don't think it's
you guys, please, when you watch the video, let us know what you think. Is this going to be the turning point for the police department to say, maybe good white people to say, okay,
nope.
Now you guys are starting to brutalize our women.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
All right. Well, we'll see. Moving right along, as you guys probably read and heard about all up on your timeline, the news, and everywhere else in between, Roseanne Barr of The Roseanne Show just had her show canceled. Yes, child. Because she issued she tweeted, I guess. I don't have Twitter. But tweeted a racist tweet in regards to Valerie Jarrett, who was
senior advisor
to the White House, the White House. And she said that she was the child, and I'm paraphrasing, of the Muslim Brotherhood and the Planet of the Apes. Mm-hmm. That almost immediately got her show canceled within hours of the tweet.
Yeah, the president of Disney.
Which is a black woman.
No, it's a white guy.
No, of Disney. But I'm talking about ABC Entertainment is the black woman. Channing Dungey.
No, the guy of Disney, the high guy.
Well, he picked back. Yeah, so, right. So
he said
they were on the same page.
Yeah, okay. She's done.
And so, even before that, Wanda Sykes, who was a producer.
Producer, right.
Said, I will no longer be returning to the Roseanne show after the tweet and all that. And of course, she got a lot of backlash from everybody you can think of co-stars. Mm-hmm. Just everybody's like, denouncing it.
Well, just think about this. You're an actor and you're on the production set. This thing just got picked up. It had the highest ratings ever.
Yeah. And the first night,
25 million people. So you're thinking, okay, I'm going to made plan. I just bought a house based on
right. Okay, I mean? Like some of those actors probably haven't acted since Roseanne went on.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. You made all these plans. You dedicated to the show, and now this dumb bitch just goes and does this.
I said, why didn't they just kill her off or something?
Right. And then think about this. You're going to let your racism get in front of your money?
Well, but this is where I'm leading to now.
Right,
okay, so the question is, they canceled her show, and everybody's on both sides. Mm-hmm. Like most people are like, yay. And then some people are like, why? That was my favorite show. It's freedom of speech and blah, 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 blah. And all this other stuff. And so my question is, for one, I'm asking you.
Okay.
Since there's nobody else to ask. Should her show have been taken off the air?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Like I said, put it like this. It's hard to... The whole thing, a reason why people do shows and stuff is to sell merchandise and advertisements and all that other stuff.
That's how the advertisers were paying like $150,000 for 30 seconds.
30 seconds. So you're affecting money, and that's the whole we have shows so that they can bombard us with get this and get that and get this.
It's a numbers game.
Yeah, you can't have a successful product associated with a known racist.
Yeah, that's the other thing people are saying, too, because, y'all noticed she was off the racist chain.
Yeah, exactly.
So why are y'all mad now?
Right.
I mean, but a lot of people don't understand, too. You can't call liking no black people to no monkeys.
Right.
It's like, come on now. That's very racist.
She should have gone with the welfare mother thing.
But then a lot of people, too, are saying, what, you stupid? Well, a lot of people are saying... Wanda Sykes always, in a lot of her stand-ups, calls Trump an orangutan.
Yeah,
now,
orangutan.
I agree. Name calling is not.
It's not good. It's not cool.
However, we're talking about because as far as I know, we have never heard Valerie Jarrett engage in calling people names and all kind of stuff. That's Trump's game right there. Mm-hmm. That's all Trump do is insult people. So it's like okay, one poke in the eye deserves another poke in the eye. So to me, that's not really the same. But some people will disagree. And so my next question is: has Trump caused folks to write checks their behinds can't cash?
Yes. Absolutely, because they, now they see this guy there and they think they're emboldened, and you'll be in a club, hey nigga, and then when they're getting their asses beat, they wonder, what did I do?
Trump does it all the time.
No, you can't do what it's not the same thing, and I'm serious about that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay, people could look at me and say I'm very pro-black, which could be derived as racist,
which is not.
It's not, but. Just like anybody else takes care of their people, I want to be for my people.
What's wrong with
that?
But
if that's how you feel, but the thing is, I'm not going to go into the white neighborhood and talk about, Minister Farrakhan said, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I'm going to keep that to myself and just, there's a time and a place for everything.
So basically, Trump gets away with it, but Roseanne, you can't get away with it. Well, she said it wasn't really her now.
Yeah, she made a statement that it was the medicine she was on.
Ambien did it.
Which is bullshit because now you're saying... You're taking a mind-altering drug.
Well, Ambien put out a statement that says that racism is not a side effect.
Of the thing.
I thought that was so cute. That is not a side effect.
Yeah, and it's so sad because now she sees that it affects her money because Roseanne hasn't worked in years. Now she's like, oh my God, I got to come up with a good excuse.
Yeah, but it affected, it was how many people on the doggone show? It looked like it was 10
10 people, right. But here's the thing, and that's why she was lying. If you go back, just go back 5 years and follow her tweets and her social media, and you will see that she's a known racist.
Yeah, it's what she does.
She does, right.
And so I questioned, too. I said on my page yesterday, how long do you think it'll take for Fox News to, pick her up or put her on there?
As a commentator.
Because I was reading, too, right before we came on here, that somebody, I can't remember who it was, some staunch Republican, I guess he's opening up a streaming service, and he's talking about bringing a show over there.
Over there, yeah.
So, there's a large portion of America, especially white America, that loves the Roseanne Barr show and loves what she's talking about. She takes liberals and everybody to task, and so they love it. And they'll go over there and watch.
Right. And, another excuse that they're saying is she was in an accident when she was a teenager. She was in a car accident. And they say that's probably why she's kind of off a little bit. But for those that don't know Roseanne, let's take a look at her show that recently came out. Just take a real clip so you can kind of get an idea of what this woman's about. And there's Miss Barr.
Miss Barr and got barred from the doggone. Wow.
And messed with her coin.
And I used to like the Roseanne show back in the day.
The original, yeah.
But it came back. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I think a lot of these shows are starting to come back.
But they're coming back as something else. Yeah. I guess from what they're saying.
Yeah, because I guess really Martin's going to try to come back.
How are you going to do it without Tommy?
I don't know.
You and Gina fell out. She was missing from the show for about a year or so.
Yeah, but Gina and him...
Well,
she's going through a divorce. Yeah, she's going through a divorce.
Gina needs some money. She's right? Like, listen, when I said you touched my booty, I'm willing to squash it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So. And so, moving right along, okay, so you don't think Roseanne should have, you think she should have been taken off there?
Yes, absolutely.
I think she should have been taken off
because
the air,
Disney doesn't want to be associated with.
Yeah.
That's going to.
She should have been taken off the air, too.
That's going to affect the money.
For the co-workers.
Yeah. Here I committed to the show for 5 years, which is usually what they
because they said she was picked up for the next year because the ratings were so good. Which tells you something about America.
Right.
The ratings are good on a racist.
But wait a minute, she has a little black girl on the show. How could she be racist?
Right. Okay. Moving along to our third and final topic, Snoop Dogg says. No, he says that too. Yeah, all that, okay? Okay? He says that Kanye needs black women in his life. Now, recently when he was on The View, he says he truly misses his mother. He truly misses a black woman in his life. He truly misses the stability of having somebody telling him when he's wrong and correcting him and checking him as opposed to allowing him to continue to do what he is doing.
Isn't that what his wife did?
Snoop.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She was like, listen, let me tell you something. Okay, let me tell you a thing or two.
Yeah, you think you a pimp, but guess what?
You sit your narrow behind down somewhere. Okay? And they do call her boss lady.
Yes. The boss lady. Yeah, I saw the show when it
was good. Don't you ever forget. I love you, though. And so then on the Breakfast Club, he says, there's no black women in his life. Let's just keep that 100. That's real. I got aunties that will pull up with those big church hats on and say, and I'm saying what he says, nigga, what's happening? You are what you on, nephew. You bullshitting. We taught you way better than that. Right. So I got to the point. It got to the point to where it's like, it was funny, and then it got sad, and he's talking about Kanye, like, okay, first we're making fun of him, then it's like, okay, wait, what's really going on here? Lastly, he says, remember the music he